1. San Francisco Giants, frontrunner for 2028 MLB All-Star Game. 2. Rob Manfred confirms MLB will keep 2028 All-Star Game despite LA Olympics. 3. MLB vs. Olympics, a baseball scheduling showdown. 4. MLB players eye Olympic gold in 2028 LA Games. 1. San Francisco Giants, frontrunner for 2028 MLB All-Star Game. San Francisco is poised to be a leading candidate for hosting the 2028 All-Star Game, especially if Major League Baseball, MLB, and the Players Association decide to allow players to participate in the Los Angeles Olympics. This potential decision could significantly benefit the city. Currently, there is a growing trend favoring Olympic participation, which aligns with an extended All-Star break. According to a source within the league, Oracle Park, home of the San Francisco Giants, is likely to be the top choice for the All-Star Game. The league and the union prefer a West Coast venue to facilitate easier travel for the sports stars to Los Angeles, avoiding the hassle of cross-country flights. Notably, cities like San Diego, Seattle, and Arizona have hosted the event more recently than San Francisco, as have Los Angeles and Anaheim. However, with the Olympics taking place, the league is not inclined to hold the All-Star Game in either Los Angeles or Orange County. Sacramento, being a minor league park, is not under consideration. The last time MLB hosted the All-Star Game in San Francisco was in 2007 at what was then known as AT&T Park. The All-Star Game is a significant financial boom for host cities. For instance, Atlanta and its surrounding areas are projected to generate over $100 million during this year's event. The topic of Olympic participation was a key point of discussion during a recent meeting with union leader Tony Clark and Commissioner Rob Manfred, who spoke separately to the Baseball Writers Association of America. Manfred expressed, "I believe there is merit in the idea of playing in Los Angeles in 2028. It presents a unique opportunity to showcase the game on a global platform, and being in the US simplifies logistics." He added that discussions with Clark are ongoing and progressing positively, emphasizing that club endorsements will be essential. When asked about the feasibility of scheduling participation during the season, Manfred confidently stated, "Yes, it's doable." Clark noted that players are keen on the idea, but many details need to be ironed out, particularly regarding scheduling and travel logistics, which is where San Francisco's location becomes relevant. Practical issues, such as insurance, also need to be addressed, although similar challenges were successfully navigated for the World Baseball Classic. "There's a lot of dialogue that needs to happen sooner rather than later to assess the viability of this plan," Clark remarked. "However, we remain optimistic that we can find a solution that benefits the game." The situation with minor league parks remains a concern. Sacramento, currently the temporary home for the Oakland Athletics as they await their new stadium in Las Vegas, poses challenges for players. Clark stated, "It's less than ideal for our players to be competing in a minor league ballpark, whether in Tampa or Sacramento. One situation was beyond our control, while the other was a choice. Both scenarios impact the game and the players. We hope to see our players back in a major league venue as soon as possible." The Tampa Bay Rays anticipate returning to Tropicana Field, which suffered roof damage from a hurricane last winter, by the start of the next season. Meanwhile, the A's may remain in Sacramento for another 3 to 4 seasons. Clark emphasized that while the union cannot dictate team locations, it can advocate for better working conditions, although they continue to receive negative feedback regarding the current situation. "This issue doesn't seem likely to change soon, but there's still a glimmer of hope that something positive will emerge before 2028, Clark added. Manfred has consistently stated that he expects the A's to stay in Sacramento until their new ballpark in Las Vegas is completed, reiterating this point during the recent discussions. When questioned about the latest issues at Sutter Health Park, such as inadequate foul pole height and insufficient camera coverage for accurate replay reviews, Manfred responded, "We are actively gathering feedback on Sacramento and are striving to address each concern in real time. It's not perfect, but if I had a brand new stadium ready, we would have moved them already. We are committed to making it the best possible environment for both competitive play and player comfort." Regarding expansion, Manfred was initially reluctant to discuss potential growth in the Bay Area during the A's groundbreaking ceremony in Las Vegas last month. However, He later stated that the league is open to exploring all possibilities for expansion, leaving no options off the table. During the Las Vegas event, a Major League source indicated that after negotiations with Oakland Mayor Sheng Tao's administration fell through, Manfred would not consider Oakland as a viable option again. Reflecting on his previous relationship with former Mayor Libby Schaaf, he said, "I had a great rapport with her, and we worked diligently to find a solution in Oakland. I have no issues with any government officials in the city." As for Tao, who has since been indicted and recalled, Manfred remarked, "I found Mayor Tao to be unhelpful when it came to critical discussions, but I likely won't have to engage with her moving forward." San Jose stands out as the largest city in Northern California and the wealthiest area in the nation without a major league team. The Giants' territorial rights only extend to the A's, making San Jose a potential option for future expansion. By keeping our options open and avoiding any preconceived notions about potential locations, we are likely to identify the best sites for expansion when the time comes, Manfred concluded. Susan Slusser, a senior baseball reporter, has been with the San Francisco Chronicle since 1996. She covered the Giants from 2021 to 2024 and the A's from 1999 to 2021. Slusser authored the book, 100 Things A's Fans Need to Know and Do Before They Die, published in 2014, and co-authored, If These Walls Could Talk, Tales from the Oakland A's Dugout, Locker Room, and Press Box, with A's radio announcer Ken Korach in 2019. She also contributes to the MLB Network. Notably, Slusser is the first woman to serve as president of the Baseball Writers Association of America in its 116-year history and is a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame's Eras Ballot Committee. In 2017, she was recognized as California Sportswriter of the Year alongside Chronicle columnist Ann Killian and received accolades for her reporting from the Associated Press sports editors in 2020. 2. Rob Manfred confirms MLB will keep 2028 All-Star Game despite LA Olympics. In a bold declaration that has certainly stirred the pot, Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred announced that the All-Star Game scheduled for 2028 will not be cancelled to accommodate the Los Angeles Olympics. This statement was made during a recent gathering with the Baseball Writers Association of America, where Manfred expressed enthusiasm for the potential collaboration with the LA 28 committee. Manfred explained that discussions took place between league representatives and those organizing the Olympics, with both groups aiming to forge an agreement that could enable MLB players to compete in the Olympic Games. Historically, MLB has chosen not to interrupt its regular season to allow for major leaguers to participate in earlier Olympic baseball events, which has led to the inclusion of minor league athletes and college players in those competitions. This begs the question, shouldn't the best talent represent the sport on such a prestigious platform? However, there's a catch. Manfred cautioned that any arrangement would likely be exclusive to the Los Angeles Olympics, as the logistics for future games, particularly the Brisbane Olympics in 2032, could prove too challenging for the league. The time commitment required for travel, training, and participation in Australia may deter MLB from pausing its operations for an extended period. "I see value in the opportunity to feature baseball in Los Angeles in 28, regardless of whether the sport is included in future Olympic Games at different locations," Manfred remarked. He stressed that this scenario presents a unique chance to promote baseball on a global scale, especially with the event being held in the US, where operational logistics are simplified. In an exciting development for fans and stakeholders alike, LA 28 recently revealed that baseball matches are slated to take place from July 15 to July 20, 2028. This timing is strategically designed to encourage Major League Baseball to consider a temporary shift in its schedule, potentially skipping the All-Star Game in favor of engaging with the Olympics during that same week. But here's where it gets truly interesting. Will the MLB be able to maintain its traditional All-Star festivities alongside Olympic competition? Manfred expressed optimism that the league could still hold the All-Star Game in its usual timeframe, then seamlessly transition into Olympic action before reverting back to the standard season schedule. "It's certainly feasible," he stated. "The provided schedule is fixed, and while adjustments may be necessary, there should be a way to play a complete 162-game season without extending into November." As we look ahead towards 2028, there are many layers to this discussion. What do you think? Should MLB prioritize the All-Star Game, or is showcasing their talent on an international Olympic stage more critical? Join the conversation below. 3. MLB vs. Olympics, a baseball scheduling showdown. The baseball schedule for the Los Angeles Olympics has been released, and it poses challenges for Major League Baseball, MLB. *** Atlanta, in a perfect scenario for MLB, the timetable for the 2028 Summer Olympic Games in Los Angeles would be quite different. ***. For the first time in history, MLB is eager for its players to take part in the Olympic Games, moving away from the tradition of amateur participation. The baseball events are scheduled to take place from July 15 to July 20 at Dodger Stadium, as announced by the organizing committee, LA 28, on Monday. However, this timing is not ideal for MLB, which also aims to hold its All-Star Game in mid-July 2028, as is customary, while avoiding an extended break that could lengthen the season significantly. Although the league has yet to confirm the date or location for the 2028 All-Star Game, these games typically occur on a Tuesday in mid-July, making July 11, 2028, a likely candidate. This date falls just 3 days before the Olympic opening ceremony on July 14, which could lead to a longer downtime than what the league or the players would prefer. They released a schedule and indicated that it won't change, said Commissioner Rob Manfred on Tuesday, prior to this year's Midsummer Classic. We'll see if there's any flexibility on that. This is a chance to promote the game on a truly global platform. We are working to resolve those logistical issues. One potential solution for MLB could involve starting the Olympic baseball games earlier. It remains uncertain whether MLB would contemplate rescheduling the All-Star Game, but the league must also consider its commitments to Fox, the network that broadcasts the event. It is feasible to hold the All-Star Game at its usual time, which would result in a longer single break, but still allow for the completion of 162 games without extending into mid-November, Manfred explained. That is indeed possible. It would necessitate considerable adjustments, but it can be done. MLB had a meeting with LA 28 on Monday. Manfred expressed a strong interest in MLB's involvement in these Olympics, citing the logistical advantages of hosting the event domestically. That process is progressing positively, Manfred stated. That's the best update I can provide at this moment. Clearly, the clubs will need to support this initiative. It's a significant matter. LA 28 has not yet responded to requests for comments. Manfred also mentioned that discussions with the Players Association are forthcoming. MLBPA Executive Director Tony Clark noted on Tuesday that players are keen to participate, but many details remain uncertain. If Major League players are to compete, what implications does that have, and what will it entail? Clark questioned. Equally important is the impact on players who will not be participating. What scheduling changes will be necessary? What travel arrangements and support will need to be addressed? How will insurance be affected? There's a lot of dialogue that needs to happen sooner rather than later to assess the feasibility of this, but we are optimistic that we can navigate through it for the good of the game. Top photo of Rob Manfred earlier this week at the draft, Jamie Squire, Getty Images. Evan Drellich is a senior writer for The Athletic, focusing on baseball. He is also the author of the book * Winning Fixes Everything, How Baseball's Brightest Minds Created Sport's Biggest Mess Star. Follow Evan on Twitter at Evan Drellich. For MLB players' Olympic gold in 2028 LA Games. Imagine a world where Major League Baseball players don their national colors and compete for Olympic gold. This dream could become a reality in 2028. As the excitement builds, MLB is actively exploring the logistics of allowing its star athletes to participate in the Los Angeles Olympics, marking a historic first for the league. In a recent meeting held in Atlanta, MLB officials engaged with representatives from LA 28, the organizing committee for the upcoming games. Commissioner Rob Manfred shared that the league is diligently working to sort out the necessary arrangements that would enable Major League players to take part in this prestigious international event. While there are still many hurdles to overcome, both the league and its players are showing a keen interest in making this Olympic participation happen. I believe that the prospect of playing in Los Angeles in 2028 holds significant value, regardless of the ongoing discussions about Olympic participation in other locations, Manfred stated during a Q&A session with the Baseball Writers Association of America. He emphasized that this opportunity could serve as a powerful platform to showcase baseball on a global scale. In addition to MLB's discussions, Olympic organizers are also in talks with the MLB Players Association, MLBPA, regarding the potential involvement of Major League players in the Los Angeles Games. Tony Clark, the executive director of the MLBPA, echoed the sentiment of enthusiasm among players, saying, "There is a strong interest in this idea." For the Olympic dream to materialize, MLB will need to engage in further discussions with the MLBPA. However, Manfred expressed optimism about the ongoing dialogue, stating, "We are making progress in a positive direction." Clark added, "Players are eager to represent their countries, whether it's Team USA or other teams from around the globe." The World Baseball Classic, WBC, has also generated interest among players, and we need to have these conversations soon to assess the feasibility of Olympic participation. We remain hopeful that we can find a way to make it work. One of the most significant logistical challenges will be the impact on the MLB schedule for 2028. The baseball tournament at the Olympics is set to take place from July 15 to July 20 at Dodger Stadium, which coincides with the traditional timing of MLB's All-Star festivities. However, Manfred reassured fans that it is feasible to hold the All-Star Game as planned, even if MLB players are involved in the Olympics. It is indeed possible to conduct the All-Star Game at its usual time, with a longer break, while still completing a full 162-game season without extending into mid-November, Manfred explained. This would require some significant adjustments, but it is certainly achievable. As the conversation around MLB players participating in the Olympics unfolds, it raises intriguing questions about the future of baseball on the world stage. Will the allure of Olympic glory be enough to bring together the best players from around the globe? And how will this impact the traditional MLB schedule? We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think MLB players should compete in the Olympics, or should they focus solely on their league commitments?